What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Just got finished watching Monday Night Football, the last Monday night game of the season. The season is wrapping up, at least the regular season is, and it's going to be crazy because there's no Cowboys, there's no 49ers in the playoffs. You know, it's funny how they always say half the teams that go to the playoffs don't the next year. And you could look at the Miami Dolphins, who had, one of the hot coordinators right there, not in the playoffs. The Cowboys, who had 3 years in a row of 12-5. And you can look at the 49ers right now. The 49ers who, last year, they were the bomb diggity. And they just lost to the Lions. And what should be evident if you watched that game tonight, looking at the Detroit Lions, although there wasn't a lot of defense in this game tonight. Let's be clear here. The offenses on here were everything. The difference in this game was 2 interceptions by Brock Purdy. What's also evident is Dan Campbell has no reverse button. He only knows full steam ahead. He went for it every time, just about on fourth down. And it almost killed him because that fourth down that they went for at the end of the first half, 49ers should have gotten a touchdown. If they had gotten that touchdown before the half, it would have been 2 scores behind. I don't know that they recover from it. I don't think that they would have. But the Lions right now will be facing the Minnesota Vikings, both 14-win teams for home field advantage throughout. And it looks like the Commanders will be going to Philadelphia for the first round of the playoffs to take on the Eagles. And if you watch those teams play, you see we got a long ways to go to be on that level. We just do. And this is where I saw on Twitter, I didn't see it when it actually happened, the interview of Mike Zimmer. And Mike Zimmer has some regrets. And also you understand why he came back to football. Mike Zimmer, who was let go by the Minnesota Vikings, after being their coach for several years, and then going to an NFC Championship game, but not quite making it. And of course, they ended up getting Kirk Cousins, and that didn't really work out. He worked out for Kirk Cousins. He made a lot of money, and eventually, he wore out his welcome there, and they let him go. Now you look at Minnesota right now; they're playing great without Kirk Cousins and Mike Zimmer, and ready to roll in the playoffs. Bad thing for them is they lose to the Lions. They're a 14-win team, and they're going to be the 5th seed. Yeah, that's crazy. Be that as it may, Mike Zimmer explained his son, who passed away in 22, is the reason why he came back. And a teary-eyed Mike Zimmer, doing his last press conference with the Cowboys for this season, asked about returning. And what he said was, you have to be wanted. You have to be wanted. And see, this is the thing that I hate about the Cowboys, man. Their arrogance of feeling like we are the be-all, end-all, that everybody wants us. Everybody wants to be us and things. That they have this attitude that we don't need you. You need us. And it's that arrogance that they can do whatever they want because there's no ramifications. Any other team is losing, the GM is being questioned and on the hot seat, and the GM, of course, is looking to point the finger at somebody else and say, hey, it's the coach's fault, because they're worried about their job. It doesn't matter what the Cowboys do. They don't have to worry about their job. This is a plaything for the Joneses. Just like the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight. Just like the Grand Prix that's out there. Or World Cup soccer. It's just what we do. We're an entertainment capital of the world here. It ain't about winning. It's not about winning. And to take it even further, Mike Zimmer came in and he said his biggest regret is he wasn't himself. And when I first read that, I was thinking because he had to bow down to the Joneses. No. That's not what he meant. What he was saying is because he came into a defense that was successful the year before, he acquiesced to the system that was there and a lot of what was already established. Not being himself and doing the things and standing on the table and screaming off the top of his heads, you're going to do it my way, and getting in players' faces to start the season. But he started doing that later in the season, that he wished he had started from day one, just saying, here's how we're going to do it. I'm the boss and this is it. So I don't know where this goes. What I know is the Detroit Lions got themselves a coach and a GM that are working on everything they can to make their team the best team that they can be. Not only in drafting, in free agency, and they're putting together a team. They recognize, man, between the two running backs, they got 2,000 yards between the two of them. They got a quarterback. They said, let's get him some weapons. Let's get him an offensive line. Now, their defense is beat up right now, but you can't argue with the results that they're having on the field. The Lions are a really good team. They're not a fluke. Last year being in the playoffs was not a fluke. This year, them playing through adversity, losing a lot of their key players on defense, still having a coach that believes in his guys and players that feel like the team and the organization believe in them. That team has a heart and a soul. And seeing Mike Zimmer, hearing how he came back for the memory of his son, man, that shit's deep. That shit's deep. And he and guys like Al Harris deserve more than what they're getting from the Joneses. I don't know, man. I don't know about this team anymore. Everybody, all of us Cowboy fans who have been through all of this shit, waiting, believing, hyping, spending, year after year after year, we are loyal to the Cowboys and this ownership in the way that a guy like Mike Zimmer is. The reality is they don't deserve us. Alrighty, good people. Life is short and life is precious. And I'm beginning to feel like I'm wasting my life on the Dallas Cowboys. Remember to let the people you love know how much you love them. You might not get the chance again, good people. And I love you. God willing, we'll all be here tomorrow on New Year's Eve. Be safe.